Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to today's video. Today, we will be continuing our little series, let's say, for tea time. So, if you guys don't know, this little series is inspired by the amazing Heather Feather with her Circle Time series that she would have on her channel. I thought it would be nice to do something to pay homage to the person who got me interested in ASMR to begin with. The first person that I think I listened to ever when it comes to this ASMR sphere. And I wanted to give a little homage to her for the fact that she's basically a staple in this community. So I wanted to create a little series similar to Circle Time. Obviously it won't be as good, but I hope that you all enjoy today's video. So if you guys are wondering how this typically goes, if you didn't see any of the last videos, then I'll let you know. These videos tend to have different facts about a random subject. What was done the last time around is that we did some facts about ASMR. We had one extra one, I believe, but I won't lie, I kind of forgot what we spoke about in that one. But I will include a playlist of those videos in the link above and in the description so that you guys can see and take part and just indulge in those. In today's video, I'm going to do some facts about something I still haven't really decided yet. It's just probably going to be random facts that I find on the internet. So I hope you guys enjoy. Make sure you guys sit back, relax, and enjoy today's video. I actually came to the conclusion that we should talk about tea because it is called tea time, and I think it would be beneficial for us to indulge a little on tea and what it means to different cultures or whatever. So we're going to do 30 random facts about tea. I hope you guys enjoy today's video. Tea is a pure accident. It was discovered by accident a long time ago. According to a legend, a Chinese emperor sat underneath a tree with his servant while they were boiling water. A leaf blew from the tree and fell into the water. He decided to give the infusion a try, which was made by pure accident. Camellia sinensis is the tree of tea. Tea gets extracted from a plant called Camellia sinensis, a member of the flowering plant family. The K. I will be including the words on the screen because I know that I am butchering the way that this is pronounced. The evergreen shrub or for a small tree known as Camellia sinensis is the species from which tea is derived. Tea comes from its leaves and leaf buds. They're processed in different ways to create different types of tea. That's a little cool. I didn't know. More than 50 countries grow tea. Although it grows in 50 countries and more, Asian Africa are where it's mainly grown. It takes 2,000 tea leaves to make a pound of tea. There are more than 3,000 types of tea. I think this next fact is interesting. Mint is not a type of tea. That's really interesting. It is considered a herbal infusion. It's just not referred to as tea. They say that only true tea leaves come from the Camellia sinensis plant, while herbal infusions use flowers, herbs, roots, or spices and do not contain actual tea leaves. So, some examples of herbal infusions are peppermint tea, chamomile tea, rooibos, I'm not sure what that is, ginger and lemon infusion, and hibiscus. I've never actually had hibiscus tea. I've heard that it's really good though, but I think I should probably try it. I've never tried it though. This next fact says matcha is actually tenka. It's a green tea. The tenka is not consumed in its origin form, but it's ground into a fine powder to create matcha. The name matcha comes from the Japanese word ma, meaning ground, while cha meaning tea. That makes sense. Okay, fact 8. Are you a Miffy or a Tiffy? I don't know what those terms mean, but from this, the statement is how you put your milk in your tea is a lifetime debate. If you like to add the milk first, then you're a Miffy. But if you like to pour the tea first, then the milk, then you are a, can you guess? Tiffy. The most famous types of tea are black tea or green tea. Which one do you prefer? I think I personally am a black tea lover. I'm not a fan of green tea. I like the richness of black tea compared to green tea, which is definitely more gentle, but it's not as strong in a sense compared to black tea. next fact is green tea does indeed have less caffeine than tea. While the average black tea has 40 to 70 milligrams of caffeine, green tea only has 15 to 50 milligrams. Tea is good for the teeth, which is interesting because I've always been told otherwise. I've always been instructed that I drink too much tea and that I shouldn't because it's not good for your teeth. But based off of this, that means I can go and I can tell the person that they were incorrect and that tea is good for you. The largest cup of tea was 9,123 liters. That's insane. And that was done in, in Mexico. They entered into the Guinness World Record in 2023 by making the largest hot cup of tea. In 2018, the global village Dubai entered, and theirs was 5,000 liters. That's crazy. That's insane. Turkey consumes more tea than any other country. That one's actually pretty funny because we know how Europeans are often associated with tea, especially if you're American, you know about the tea tax and all that stuff. So you know about how much Europeans love tea, and it's pretty funny that there wouldn't be, specifically like British people, they are not the ones that consume the most tea. I think that's pretty funny. But it's interesting if you guys look at it from like a colonial perspective. It's interesting to see how places that were colonized by a European like state, they consume a lot of tea. So as my background is Jamaican, I look and see that my family, I enjoy tea a lot. My grandmother really enjoys tea. But every like average Jamaican, you'll see how like tea is pretty much a very vital aspect of our lives when it comes to like consuming something warm to drink. So it's interesting how like that could be correlated as well. That's something I never really thought to look up, but that might be something interesting to look up if you're someone that wants to learn more about this. It matters how you store your tea as well. Black tea you can store in a closed dry container, preferably opaque canister, and it can be stored up to 2 years. On the other hand, green leaves don't have a shelf life as long, and they pretty much last up to like a year. Don't opt for plastic containers, as they can transfer odors and chemicals into the tea, which might affect its flavor. If you know some people like myself, we don't. I love tea, but I've never been like the biggest tea connoisseur. So if you get like a Tetley tea, the box that it comes in, that's pretty much what it's in the entire time. I don't really take it out and put it in other stuff. I think like other than like David's tea, because I do like David's tea, and David's tea, they have little containers that are like metal containers that they give you your tea in and stuff. So other than that, like I don't really get loose leaf tea. I do have an infuser though, just in case, because I did go through the phase of getting loose leaf tea at one point in time, especially when I was trying to experiment with mixing and all that stuff. Tea is for more than just sipping. They can be used for beauty purposes. I think this is something that has also been utilized a lot within our society for women when it comes to like bathing and stuff. Teas are very much commonly used for bathing, to hydrate the bath. It helps to increase your metabolism or treat acne. You can use it for home purposes as well, just like breaking down grease for burnt pans, and they're really good also as a mosquito repellent. And just like tea, iced tea was also an accident. In 1904, an Englishman was serving hot tea on an even hotter day during an event, but no one wanted hot tea. So he decided to add free ice to the mix, and voila, he discovered iced tea, which is pretty funny how that kind of worked out. Tea was discovered on accident, and now iced tea is discovered on accident too. Afternoon tea must be with a change of clothes. This one I can kind of agree with. After you're wearing like all those clothes for so long, especially in the 1880s, it became a must for women to change out of their long gowns and gloves and hats before they enjoyed afternoon tea. And afternoon tea is served between 2 p.m. and 5 p.m., while high tea is served between 5 p.m. and 7 p.m. Black tea is actually good for your health, which we did talk about some tea stuff and health earlier. The world's most expensive tea can cost thousands of dollars. So that seems like something similar to like wine, and how I don't think it's the same process though, but yeah, I guess it's like how rare the leaf is specifically. Bubble tea was already known since the 1980s. I actually really enjoy bubble tea. I think bubble tea tastes so nice. I know some people don't like it though because of the bubbles, the pearls, tapioca pearls. I know a lot of people don't, and they don't tend to enjoy it as much because it just like throws it off. You're confused on whether you're supposed to be eating or drinking, and technically you're doing both. I enjoy it though. I think some places do make it better than others, so it really pays to get a really good tea from a good location, because sometimes they don't make it as well. Fun fact, I actually was able to make some. My mom was hosting an event for one of her students, and he was getting married. They were hosting an engagement party, and I had the opportunity to make a bubble tea for the event, and it was really good. I was very proud of myself because it tasted so nice, and a lot of people kept on coming back and grabbing some more, especially when it cooled down. I think when it cooled down, it helped some people enjoy it a little bit better because it was hot that day. But yeah, the most valuable teapot is worth $3 million. That's crazy. It takes 12 years for the tea plant, to produce a seed. Wow, that takes a very long time. That's interesting. A tea plant takes 12 years to mature enough to produce a seed, and another 3 years before the tea is harvested. So it takes a total of 15 years. That is insane. That's crazy. You never get a caffeine crash with tea. That's fair. Believe it or not, there's an art for reading tea leaves. I can see that. That's really cool. I love how there's like an art for everything. I saw a quote recently that basically said that the art is not something that's gonna like make you a better person, but they do help you have a better life. And I don't think it's a quote I couldn't agree more with. I don't think I can agree with any other quote more than that, because it really is true. There's certain arts that a lot of people would say is so not necessary, but like when you actually break down benefits, which is having that art hobby in a sense, or that just like artistic avenue, it does give you a better quality of life in that you are enjoying your life a lot more. And I can see people that do that enjoying their life a lot more compared to people that, don't. Because, those are just my thoughts. Those are my 2 cents. Ever, ever wonder why tea just tasted different on airplanes? One reason is that when you're at a higher altitude, the boiling point is 18 to 20 degrees lower due to the air pressure. And so your taste buds don't work as well when you're at extremely high altitude and the dry air of the cabin dull the senses to taste and smell. That's interesting. I never considered that. One of the most expensive teas has panda poop. That's interesting. That's weird. They have a tea called panda dung tea, and it's one of the most expensive in the world. This is in China. This particular tea uses panda bear poop as fertilizer. Oh, that's why. And it's sold at around $70,000 per kilogram, as it's believed to be rich in antioxidants. That makes sense, because that that's typically what is used for fertilizer. Not panda one specifically, but cow dung is used as fertilizer. So I'm not really surprised by that. Some people might get a little grossed out. I apologize. It's just interesting facts. A tea pet is a thing. A tea pet is a clay figure that you place on the table, and it joins you for tea. During tea time, like this channel, you pour some tea over the tea pet, and over time, the figurine absorbs some of the tea, changing its color and building a tea scent. Oh, that's cool. That's interesting. I never heard of them before. Tea is important in Chinese weddings. It's a sign of gratitude. The bride and the groom kneel before their parents in respect and serve them tea. This act symbolizes that both families become one and emphasizes respect and honor. This act expresses their appreciation for the lifetime love, support, and guidance they've received throughout their lives from their parents. And the last fact of the day: alcohol in movies, in reality, is iced tea. When actors are needed in any film or TV scene to drink whiskey or portray being drunk, what they are consuming is iced tea or watered, 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 down, 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 down. Tea. So there you have it. We have 30 random facts about tea that we were able to read through together. I hope you guys are sleeping. And if you aren't sleeping, I hope you guys will consider checking out the playlist in the description or somewhere on the screen, so that you guys can go and check out the next set of videos or the previous videos that I did, and also see the future videos. And also make sure to like and subscribe, share with a friend if you found this peaceful and calming for you, and also make sure to turn on notifications just so you know that whenever an